What's up, Zoomies? All right, welcome to my new filming location, my basement where I keep my so this video, I'm gonna be going over, I guess, an update of my rifle, my SPR that I have been changing throughout the past couple months, and no, we'll just go ahead and get started, jump right into it. Starting off with my suppressor. Waited a hot minute, longer than most people do. Had to wait had my tax stamp approved twice because I moved to another state. So ATF really got me good with that. So it's a Surefire 2 Mini. Probably put about like 300 rounds with it. I've only had it for about a month now. So yeah, it sounds really great. Haven't really had any problems with muzzle flash that I've noticed. I've only shot with a day with it so far, and then yeah, underneath just a regular Surefire 3-prong. I actually got lucky with a friend of mine who had a Surefire Mini 2 and the Surefire, the RC2, the full-size one for 5.56. And, the Mini seemed the best choice with my rifle when I was borrowing his. And I just got the Magpul bipod on here because it's lightweight, not the best bipod. It's got a lot of wiggle to it, but it gets the job done. And then I got a Surefire, or not a Surefire, an Arisaka light with 100 concepts, cap for it. So if you shine a flashlight on it, does it flash back, or if I accidentally ND it, it's not gonna go off and be visible. And then I just got a Surefire pressure pad here. Forget the name of it. But yeah, I had a dual switch there with Apital for a while. I was having connection issues with the thing, or with the dual switch with the white light. So I ended up just going back to the regular tail cap, also to prevent from NDing. You just have an Apital C here, the civilian PEC 15. Traded that for a Aimpoint T2. I figured I'd go to a passive aiming setup for night vision from a personal experience of mine from the military when I was OP4 and we were defending a town. I was on top of a roof. Some dude across from me, a couple buildings over, shined his laser at me. I saw it pointing at me. I dropped down behind cover, heard him take the shots. Got a couple near misses on my Miles vest. Was happy I was able to stay in the fight. If you're trying to surprise somebody or you're fighting a near peer adversary, having visible lasers is probably not a good idea. So switching over to a passive aiming setup is probably the way to go. IR lasers and everything, I feel like they're more great for like close quarters indoors. So I mean, and for this being mounted at the 12 o'clock, I feel like that's more of a natural, like, what do you call it? Just getting your dot or lined up fast. Well, it may not be as fast as aiming just from with the laser, but they're still pretty close, and it's just more of a consistency that I can definitely practice it, I think, better throughout the day. Well, I haven't really shot too much with it at the 12, and I've only done it like once or twice so far, and that was at the long range I was at, and I hit a 400-meter plate with it, or 400-yard plate with it. That's what I mounted at the 12. The T2's glass is great. Everybody knows that with night vision, so I'm not really too worried about it. I might change out the Arisaka light here with a Surefire Vampire just for that IR light if I need it. And they also have white light on there, so I can change it back and forth depending on what I need. So, and you're probably not going to want to give away your position if you're fighting a near peer adversary or you're behind enemy lines and they got night vision and everything like that. And you don't want to be running that stuff, getting your position away, or if you're trying to take a shot at somebody or initiate an ambush, and you don't want to probably shine an IR laser at somebody that also has night vision on, because they'll see it. Also, you may have noticed I went from a Trijicon Credo 1-4 to a Trijicon Credo 2-10. I've been messing with this for the past couple months. it's been great. I actually really like it. You've probably seen it in some of the pictures that I've put up, either on Instagram or just some of the clips in the videos or something like that. I can't remember where I posted it. But yeah, the elevation knob back here is probably the only problem with it so far. It's kind of high, so it interferes with the Aimpoint T2. I'm kind of debating whether or not to put a little spacer between the Raptor mount and the Aimpoint just to bring it up above. But so far, it really hasn't been too much of a problem acquiring that dot on the T2. It just obscures about half my lens. So if I get a spacer, I'll probably bring it up, but then I'm already getting really high up there on that height over bore. So yeah, so far this rifle's actually been really great. I've been able to hit steel plates at 716 yards with M193. That was kind of probably luck because I was only able to do it once. I was able to make constant impacts at a 680 yard target multiple times with M193, which is pretty good, I think, for this setup. I don't really plan on taking it out too much farther than 700 meters anyway for its purpose. But just being able to hit my targets 500 and in is amazing because I went around with a rangefinder around where I live and just kind of lazed land markers and buildings and roadways and stuff like that, where, you know, avenues of approach and between like hills and stuff like that. And you're looking at like the two 500 meters between those individual targets or spots. So being able to at least reach out to 500 with this accurately and to set up the PID and everything is really good. This is the MRAD reticle on here, which I really like. I'm able to mill targets, but as you're learning to mill targets, if you don't know the size of things, you can't mill them, so you can't really estimate the range. So also being able to mill targets is very important, because if you're fighting a near-peer adversary, you can't be just shooting a rangefinder at your targets, because they might have detection devices to let them know that they're being lased. So keep that in mind. So like I said, this setup's mostly going towards fighting a near-peer adversary, say like China invades or whatever your large fantasies consist of. So just keep that in mind. I think the IR lasers, like for that reason I was saying before, are probably not going to help you out too much. And shit hits a fan, or you're fighting a war against China or something like that, or somebody with the same capabilities as you, because they're going to see it. So switch to passive is the way to go. It's also cheaper, in my opinion. You don't have to spend a shit ton of money on a laser aiming device. So yeah, if I do decide to put another one back on here, I'll probably just end up going the airsoft route and getting a Samoa gear. You know, other than that, not really too much different. I keep changing out my stocks between the Magpul one that I have, and which I forget, it's like an SL something, and then this StatMod V5. Still the Delton lower on here. I like to run 20 round mags with these, get lower to the ground. And Geisley SSAE trigger inside here, still my favorite. One thing I did notice after shooting with the suppressor recently is I had my gun lube. It seemed to dry out really quickly, and I had to keep using my forward assist to get that bolt to go home when loading new mags. So if you got any questions about the setup that I'm using or other parts I have in here, shoot me a question in the comments. I'm pretty active in those. Probably try to get you guys some more AK content, because I know you guys like that stuff. But we'll see. Yeah, guys, like, subscribe if you like the video. So yeah, keep it real, boys.